Deliberations by parliamentarians on the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2018 this afternoon were inconclusive as the House closed for business to continue on Wednesday. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi moved the sitting after a 3-hour-long debate. The bill seeks to ensure that the two-thirds gender principle is achieved through special seats to be determined after the results of a general election. NTV's Mel Miendo reports.
The second reading of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2018 was largely supported in the National Assembly. There were some opponents, though.
This amendment, it roots on sovereignty of the people, spelled out under Article 1. The sovereignty of people is exercisable by Parliament through their representatives.
Indeed, even judicial authority is derived again from the people, from the same sovereign, but only to exercise it in accordance with the same constitution. And therefore, this particular bill is, in my view, properly before the House, and I so rule.
The bill seeks to amend Articles 90, 97 and 98 of the Constitution, which focus on the composition of members in the National Assembly and Senate. Its core is to ensure that the number of women nominated at any given time should be at least a third of the total.
Those of us who are in the 10th Parliament, we will see the journey women have worked in our country and the progressive nature of the Kenyan voters. And Mr. Speaker, if there are loyal voters, and each member here will agree with me, if there are loyal voters in our constituencies and in our counties, they are the women voters.
I want to be very categorical that discrimination or disadvantaging any group of Kenyans in whichever way, whether they are disabled, whether they are youth, whether they are women or men, that must be corrected and corrected the earliest time possible.
The Duale bill further proposes that once an election is finalized and gender numbers known, then the right number of women is to be nominated and shared by political parties depending on their strength in the National Assembly. The Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs has voiced its commitment to ensure the full realization of the two-third gender rule.
We are asking for the National Assembly, if we don't have this one-third as women being in Parliament, then the voice of women cannot be heard in terms of decision-making. And why are we saying that? Any research has already proved that if the number is so small, then their voice and their contribution cannot be adequate enough to make a difference. Therefore, we are just as a ministry trying to fulfill what Kenyans asked us to do.
In the 12th Parliament, the National Assembly has 75 women MPs, while the Senate has 3 elected women from the 47 counties. 18 are nominated.
And Mr. Speaker, if you read the report that we tabled in the House, we were able to demonstrate, Mr. Speaker, that this bill received overwhelming support from the Kenyan people.
Nonetheless, drama characterized submissions made by members of Parliament over just what the criteria of nominating women in Parliament and Senate will be.
And I know for a fact, Mr. Speaker, and I have evidence that there is a Secretary General of a party who nominated himself, his mother-in-law, and his second wife. So this is what we are saying, that unless we become clear on how these women are going to be nominated.
If these gender top-up slots will be for our daughters, our sisters, our wives, and our mothers, then I do support 100%. But then, if it is for the slave queens to slay their way into the National Assembly, to massage their way into the Senate, and slay their way into County Assembly, Honorable Speaker, then I do have some reservation.
So, Mr. Speaker, when I hear members talking about slay queens, I would like to ask nominee number 001, now that he's a nominated member, can he tell this House whether he's a slay king? And which favors did he give to his political party to nominate him?
The House carries on with the debate on Wednesday. Mel Miendo, NTV.